Hello and very warm welcome, dear students, audience all over the world. This is Professor Dr. Zia Ahmed. I'm just about to start teaching research methodology to one of my MPhil classes, so I thought it better to provide them a little bit of introduction and an introductory material before the class starts so that they can have a good view of these things when they begin with the class. So today it's going to be the first of the instances that I'm going to record here, and that is only introduction to the research methodology. In this section, I shall be only talking about what is research. Different definitions have come across the board and people know very well of them, but just to link them, these definitions should be linked with the process of research. That is why I designed today's lecture for this purpose. And let me show you the topic today. Here it is, like this is Introduction to Research Methodology. And the very first thing that we shall be talking about is what is research. And in this section, what is research, we are going to talk about the very first thing, and that is systematic gathering of data and information. So it means, first of all, we should think what is research. The answer would be that it is the gathering of data and information, but it's not random gathering, it's a systematic gathering under certain rule, under certain principles, accepted norms. The data is gathered, information is gathered. Once this data and information is gathered, at that time, the researcher is to analyze in order to create a knowledge, and that knowledge should be advanced further. The researcher also has got certain questions in the mind, and through this analysis and gathering of this information, the researcher is going to do the kind of answers of these questions in order to create more knowledge. And in the same way, therefore, research is going to be not an easy job. It's going to be a studious inquiry, very difficult job, and that is done through certain investigations and experimentation. It means in certain researches, only investigation is done and the material is written about that, and certain researches, experimentation is also conducted. Research also means to discover what is hidden from the naked eye and what is not known to the people. These things will be discovered, and ultimately, whatever the facts are gathered, these should be interpreted. Not only research is able to discover new things, but also it goes to revise some of the accepted theories which are already present. These are done in that way. So, in whatever the case may be, through all this, the research can be called that one goes to travel from the things which are already known to humanity, and with the help of those things which are known to humanity, researcher proceeds to discover, to investigate, or to interpret, do all these things with respect to the unknown things which are not known to the people in that way. So research is going to be one of the very useful tools for the people so that they can continue to gather knowledge, continue to gather information. They may be able to analyze this information through certain other ways and means which are provided by the philosophies of research, approaches of research, methods and techniques of research. With the help of all that, people are able to find out the things which are not available. In that way, not only things are investigated, experimented, but also answers are searched for this purpose. And these answers continue to make the things which is called knowledge, and that knowledge is not only created, it's also promoted, it's also tested and verified. And in that way, many people come to know which is not known to them. And the job of the researcher mainly is to go through the things which are already known and ultimately travels towards the unknown things. So, seen in this context, let us see another part of the research, and that is research is a voyage of discovery, definitely. For this purpose, what we need to understand is that man or human being has got inquisitive nature. Man, even if a child is there, even if a man and woman is there, these people are always trying to know something, trying to discover something. This is the job that the human beings do, and they probe. So they want, this nature compels them, this inquisitive nature compels them to get the fuller understanding or complete understanding of the thing. So that is why the human beings keep on probing the things, and because of that, in that way, inquisitiveness is the basic idea which becomes the basis of the knowledge, the gathering of the knowledge. But however, the researcher has to take care of the methods of the research, methods of obtaining this knowledge. The researcher not only develops these methods, but also he goes to find something new and important regarding the research. So therefore, this inquisitive nature of human being is the base of all that, which compels him to create knowledge, which compels him to know about the things which are present there. This is the very inquisitive nature of human being that is compelling him all the time to probe the things in order to gather knowledge more and more. So in that way, the wish of the human being is inspiring them to know about the things which are around them and to find out the truth about these things. And certain methods have been devised, certain principles have been devised, certain methodologies have been devised to conduct this kind of activity. So that is also called as one of the ways what research is going to be. Let us see more what other things we can say about research. Now let's talk about the academic nature of research, that it's an academic activity. For example, Clifford Woody says that research is all the time doing one thing, and that is it is trying to define the problems, and it's trying to redefine those problems of humanity which have already been defined. And on the basis of that, it's most of the time trying to formulate a hypothesis, and in accordance to this hypothesis, the researcher becomes busy in collecting and organizing data. So that's also one of the way the research should be called, that for the sake of confirming or rejecting one hypothesis, the researcher collects data, organizes data, evaluates data, and on the basis of his deductions, he's able to find out some of the conclusions, and then he goes to test the conclusions. So in that way, one can say that academically speaking, research is going to be something which is related to defining of the problems of human life, and on the basis of that, suggesting some of the hypotheses. When an hypothesis is suggested, for the sake of acceptance and rejecting, one is required to continue with the collection of the data or organizing of the data, and then the data is evaluated also. Some of the deductions are done, I mean the results are captured out of that. Ultimately the final conclusion is reached, and this conclusion is also tested and verified in order to call that this is going to be the final result. So that is another way of defining research, and that should be called an academic way of defining of the research. Let us see what other things we can say about the research. According to Steiner and Stephenson, research is manipulation of the things. It is the manipulation of the concepts. It is the manipulation of symbols. And when these things are being done at that time, some of the principles and theories come forward. These are called the generalization of these kind of principles which evolve out of that. And ultimately, these principles are extended. Because of their extension, they can be corrected, they can be verified, even they can be rejected also. And ultimately, one theory comes forward. So according to Steiner and Stephenson, the basic idea behind research, or to define research, another way is to say that one should be able, or one should adopt a way of methodology in order to manipulate the concepts and the symbols, and in order to deduce results from these things, he should be able to generalize these things, and these principles then should be extended forward so that they can be corrected or rejected or verified. When something is corrected and when something is verified, at that time it becomes a theory. It becomes a theory for practicing, or it becomes a kind of knowledge which may be helpful in order to conduct further researches. And something more can be talked about the kind of definition of the research. This can be taken as the final argument, that is the conclusive argument when we are trying to define research. A research is a kind of activity which should be called an original contribution to the knowledge which is already existing, and with the help of that existing knowledge, some of more knowledges are collected, and in that way the effort is made to advance this knowledge here and there so that the pursuit of truth could be finalized. The truth is found out, the truth is pursued, though it's very difficult to find it, but still it is pursued with the help of the human observation, and this data which is collected with the help of human observation by using different tools and techniques. This data is compared with each other, contrasted with each other, and sometimes the experimentation is conducted. With the help of that, some of the conclusions and theoretical frameworks or some of the ideas come forward, which is also called as research. So in this way, one can say that there are multiple ways of defining what is going to be research. So in this short video, we have tried to define what research is. Possibly we will be able to talk some more topic about research in next coming videos. It is for the benefit of the students. So hopefully the video gives good information about the definitions of research, what it's going to be, and that will definitely benefit the students. So if you like it, do not fail to hit the subscribe button as well as the like button. And of course, we shall be meeting in some next video. So thank you for watching. Hopefully see you next time.